Oh, hey, Facebook. I'm wondering. Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, Facebook, y'all. I'm trying something new.
No worries.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We are awesome. How are you? Nice to meet
It's
you.
Monday.
Yes.
Welcome in, welcome in.
It's nice out though. It's a nice Monday.
It is, it is.
I'm a little short for this.
The bottom one.
I felt like it was
Where's
okay.
the top one?
It felt like
Is it too much light?
no, it wasn't enough. I cut it.
Oh.
I need all that good light. There we go. This whispers at the dark light y'all got on up here. Everybody call off today, so it's just us. Yeah,
Okay.
we gotta have a good time. So we do hot topics before the interview, so you can chime in to the topics if you like to. If it's something you don't want to touch on, I understand. But oh yes, you're a lawyer. You just
I'm a law
recently
school
graduated?
grad. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Russell.
Yes.
Did you want to do what's going on first or just go to
What's going on? No in the row. Thank you, Zoe.
How long they been on this floor?
Um, After the pandemic, we were downstairs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been on 30 for. It's time for trademark talk. Yeah, right after the pandemic.
Okay, got it. Oh, I've never been on this floor.
It's new.
Totally different.
A lot, yeah.
They got the sales team and everything on this floor.
Everybody on the floor now, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send y'all a link so y'all can go live.
You taking college, right, Marcel?
No.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to get Usher tickets to it. Facebook, if y'all got.
We was looking at it.
Do me a favor, send this to yourself.
Okay.
Text that link in there. Once you text that, oh shoot, I tried to do this live sideways, y'all. Sorry. What's up, Tina? Then once y'all get the link, just click in. It's gonna ask you for your name, and you'll be live with our 112 viewers right now.
Okay.
Tina, what's up, Tina Hammond? I had a lot of energy until I found out wasn't nobody coming today to help me. Then I got drained all of a sudden.
I would hope you chime in on some of the stories you have.
Okay, thank you. Oh. Let me get us mic'd up.
40 seconds.
One for you and one for. Now, pronounce the name so I don't mess them up.
Tyann. And Prince is easy.
Oh, right. Tyann and
I can put this anywhere. Like
yeah.
right
here. Tyann, a friend of mine, called me this morning and all the way from Canada and saw that you were the guest today. You all went to high school together.
Are you serious?
Takara Birmingham?
Yes.
I said, small world.
Yes, it is. And you'll be at the Guru Brunch.
Oh, and you guys are into.
We'll be giving you.
Yes. Smaller world.
Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on. So what's going on is it is election season, if you don't know, which I'm sure you know because you listen to the Brunch Bunch each and every day. But Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are making their rounds to encourage and inspire as many people to vote for them. Now, I gotta say this because I'm honest and I, tell the truth. I did see a video of Kamala Harris with her pastor, the new pastor of her church that she grew up with, and of course, Black Twitter, racist white folks are talking about how it didn't look genuine. And when I was watching the video, I'm like, yeah, it do kind of seem a little forced. But, yeah, it felt like she was trying to really make us believe that she would be at church and in the church. When she called it the basement, because, anybody that grew up in church, anytime you say basement, they corrected you because it wasn't the basement. It was either the dining hall, the fellowship hall.
Yeah.
You know, you call it, you ain't going calling nobody dining hall at church the basement. So when she said we go in the basement to eat, I was like, yeah, the VP is she it wasn't that believable, but I know she believes in God and is a woman of God, and that's all right. But what is crazy is that Donald Trump had a rally, and um I got to watch clips of this rally, and he had a comedian at his rally that made some very offensive comments about Puerto Rico. And of course, VP Kamala was on a very different page. So Kamala Harris visited a Puerto Rican restaurant this past weekend on Sunday in Philadelphia. And the vice president made it a point to uplift the Puerto Rican community on Sunday after a barrage of insults for the country was received during a rally for Donald Trump at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Now, Madison Square Garden is a huge venue, and for the first time, I can say that Donald Trump's rally was packed, so he didn't make up. I saw the footage. I saw the video. So it was people. Now during the Trump event, comedian and podcast host Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about accepting Latinos into America with open arms while making a shooing motion, like open arms but shooing them
Oh
away
wow.
from the country, as reported by the New York Times. Now Tony continue with his verbal attack on Latinos with a tasteless joke about how they have too many children before bringing up illegal immigration. Now, most shockingly, he commented that there is a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean. Now, when I heard him saying that, I didn't know where he was going with it. And he said it's Puerto Rico.
Mm.
So, following a slew of outrage, Tony Hinchcliffe wrote in response on X, and I quote, these people have no sense of humor. Anytime you say these people, it's just a racist comment. He also said, I love Puerto Rico on vacation there. I made fun of everyone, watched the whole set. Now, what is disturbing about this, and someone said if he's making those jokes in private, they're doing it in the green room. I have been blessed to be in many rooms,
Mhm.
and one of the rooms that I was in was a room full of successful white men, and the one of the guys, a retired New York police officer, was making some of the most outlandish, outrageous, racist jokes I had ever heard. When I walked out of the room, I was not as offended. I couldn't believe he was saying it, but I always told people he had no respect of person. He talks about every race outside of white people. And so these type of conversations do happen with this group of people, right? So when he's saying that they're jokes, but these are the jokes they're saying at their dinner table. These are the
Mhm.
jokes that they're teaching their children. But during the rally, Harris was in Philadelphia spending time in the Pennsylvania's Puerto Rican residents' neighborhood. She also visited, like I said, a Puerto Rican restaurant. Now, this morning on The View, Sonny Hostin, who is half black and half Puerto Rican, pointed out the number of Puerto Ricans in this country that vote, primarily in the states that he needs votes for.
Mhm.
So I hope that every Puerto Rican under the sound of my voice and in this country would pay attention. And if they were supporting Trump, they may need to,
Reevaluate.
reevaluate it, So Maya Angelou said, when a person shows you who they are,
Believe him.
Mhm.
believe them. And
The
you
first
know,
time.
yes, believe them the first time. I told someone yesterday, and shout out to the greatest pastor in the world, my pastor, Bishop David Todd Whitley. We celebrated his 20th anniversary yesterday, and the guest speaker was Pastor Billy Evans, who is the faith liaison for the city of Chicago.
Okay.
So his job is to work next to the mayor and connect with the faith-based community. But he preached a message. But while he was preaching, he said, "It doesn't matter who's in the White House, as long as God is on the throne." And so when I say pay attention to who you vote for, remember the ones who don't. Remember your family members who don't believe in God, who are out of covenant with God because they have not accepted Him into their lives. So you're voting for their conscience. So I'm voting to make sure the people that are not saved by God's grace, like I am, are covered because I'm going to be good regardless of who in the White House because I serve the God who has the heart of the king in his hands. So with that being said, make sure you're paying attention to who you vote for because we are in this world. We don't have to be of this world, but we got to vote because the enemy,
Yes.
the enemy, now look, I feel like preaching now. I ain't no preacher. I was in church here and they would say the enemy is out to destroy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it may not affect us directly, but when we think of stories in the Bible, Satan tempted Job.
Mhm.
Job lost things. It was, a test of his faith. He had to go through. So depending on who you vote for, you may have to go through some things you wouldn't have had to go through. But really, let's worry about the people that are out of that don't have a relationship with God. Because depending on who you vote for, I feel sorry. I feel sorry. I feel sorry. Do y'all have any? We got great guests. I'm gonna, you know, Tyann and Prince Coakley.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Coakley
You nailed
joining
it.
us, as I said earlier in the show, is Money Monday. But before we get to the money, we do talk a little hot topic. So, would you guys like to chime in on this?
I would just say when the jokes are to that extent to the public, you can only imagine what goes on behind closed doors.
Yep.
Hmm.
And they always say it's a bit of truth to every joke.
Yep.
And so I think we all have to keep that in mind. But God is so amazing, and just knowing that, man, with God on my side, who could be against me? But you are right, Marcel. I need to vote for the folks that don't got that same grace and mercy.
That's it. That's it. Listen, it's funny because I always say, we teach faith, we walk faith, we're supposed
Hmm.
to talk faith, then we get worried. Then I had
Hmm.
to ask God, though, about this election cycle because I do believe the heart of the king is in the master's hand.
Yes.
I do believe that my God sits high and looks low.
Low.
And
Hmm.
so whatever I need is in the kingdom of God and will be provided. But I had to think about all of those people that I know that are not
That's
saved by
true.
his grace. I had to think about, and I said it to somebody, we sometimes get to a position of wealth and power. We still
Hmm.
believe and trust in God, but some of the laws that some elected officials are talking about won't affect us, right?
Mhm.
If we can't afford child care, we're not fighting for affordable child care because we paying for it out of pocket anyway.
Right.
So it's like, so
No,
when the
definitely.
politicians are saying, we got to protect child care, some people are like, well, that's not my fight. But then the Lord gave it to me that it may not be your fight, but it's the fight of someone close to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the fight of your sister, your brother, your niece, your nephew, your auntie, your mama, who don't have the means that you have. And be very careful. Listen, they gonna have to start borrowing from you if
Yeah.
this stuff
That's
gets on
true.
you. You
That's
better
true.
be very, very careful about who you're electing and who it's gonna affect.
Definitely.
I think we got to take into cause and effect, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And man, just to add to that is that we see that you know Trump is playing to his crowd. He's unapologetic about playing to his crowd. He's using strategy, and I believe it's great strategy for his crowd. But
Hmm.
just like you said, I'm reminded of Daniel in Babylon. Even though he was in the land of his captives, he prospered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, just speaking with a loud voice to, get as many as people up as we touch under the Daniel anointing,
Yep.
to be able to prosper in Babylon,
Yep.
right? So, if we know and we understand what we're up against, then we able to put together strategic defense patterns against the weapons that are formed against us.
That's it. That's it. I like it, Reverend. Listen, I like it. Tina said, we're fighting for everything. You may not need it today, but you don't know what tomorrow
Oh,
brings. And that is the truth, too.
That's
So,
true.
you know what? Pray. Ask God for his guidance. The Bible teaches us in all that ways acknowledge him, and he will direct our path. Ask
without
God who you
ceasing.
should be voting for, but vote. November the 5th is around the corner. We got less than, I think it's 8 days.
Ooh, Jesus.
Yeah, woo, woo.
Early voting.
Early voting is open, and I think I've
Yeah.
been every day going to early vote, but I've been getting busy. Good. I will say it's something about election day that excites me though. I
Mhm.
love going to the polls on election day, but I didn't want the hassle. Although unfortunately in our communities, it ain't really a hassle on election day. It ain't long lines to the polls, but we're gonna pray that that changes.
I do have one thing to say as well because I just saw on the news that they are setting the mail-in ballot boxes on fire. So if you have a mail-in ballot, please take it in personally.
Oh wow.
Do not drop it in those boxes because they are setting them on fire in some of these states. People are already starting to go crazy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm worried. Let's see November 5th.
Yeah. Oh,
But the
yeah.
good thing is Trump is not in office and in power, so he can't lock the White House doors if he don't win. And I'm not worried about Kamala if she don't win. I'm sure she'll bow out gracefully. But our country is in dire need. But we're praying for the country. We're praying for all of our elected officials, and we're praying speaking of elected officials, for the family of former Alderman William Beavers.
Mm.
Alderman Bill Beavers, a longtime Chicago City Council member who went on to serve as Cook County Commissioner, died this past Saturday morning. His family announced he was 89. He died from natural complications, surrounded by his family, according to a spokesperson for the Beavers family. Bill Beavers will go down in history as one of the most progressive African American aldermen in the city. Chicago City Council, Sean Howard, the family's representative, said in a statement, he was unapologetically black and proved so by his countless efforts to propel black business persons to engage in city business and contracts. Mr. Beavers would especially be proud of his support for black entrepreneurs and advocacy to get more black judges on the bench, Howard told the Sun-Times. Mr. Beaver represented the 7th Ward on the council for 23 years until 2006 when he was elected commissioner representing the 4th District. He held that seat until 2013, the year he was convicted of tax evasion and served 6 months in federal prison. And you know what? To the writer who
Yeah,
wrote
something else.
this, you know what? Why would y'all include
I'll
this in
think
my
it's
story?
yeah.
And I'm just
Read.
announcing and reading. You see how they do us. You know what?
Yeah.
They He was a great person,
Yes.
but convicted of. No, listen.
That's crazy.
You know, I'm
That's
a, I'm gonna
crazy.
do a better job of going
You
through
can't,
going through my
but you can't
stories.
trust them.
But he lived a great life, and I did get to. I didn't know him personally, but I do know people that knew him personally. And Mays Jackson, shout out to Mays Jackson. He gave a nice tribute to uh, former Alderman William Beavers on Facebook and talked about how
Mhm.
he helped
Yeah,
create so many black
yeah,
millionaires in this
yeah.
city.
Yep.
And we need to get back to that. And speaking of millionaires and getting back to that, we're going to get to it and how we can help you to build generational wealth, how we can help you to protect wealth, and how we can potentially help make you a millionaire. You know what? When we get back, don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390. They set me up. They
Yes, they
set me up.
did. Yes,
They
they
set me up.
did. And you just to read.
And I'm just going.
Yeah, you just going and going.
He held that seat until 2013. the year he was, and then you got to
Then
go
they just start
down. I
going
got to go
in.
to another sentence. Oh, they got me.
Hey, but you handled that
Convicted.
well, though.
Yes.
I'm
To
like,
the
I'm like, convicted of taxi evasion. To our writers here on the Brunch Bunch.
Hey, they said he was an amazing person, but you can't trust him.
Right,
He
I'm
got
like,
convicted of that.
hey, lift us up, tear us down. The
Yeah,
man, like,
hey, that's there.
Man, maybe.
All the legacy, but you gonna paint that one picture that's gonna be hurt the most out of
Londa said
everything.
that was included intentional by evil-minded person. Yes,
Yes.
because I would not have reported on that on his past transgression.
Right.
The
Yes.
man is gone,
That is just so crazy.
but he served chairman of the budget committee, police and fire committee. Before being a city councilman, he was a police officer for 21 years.
Wow.
Somebody text me, yeah, I got
They was going on Kamala about her saying that about the church of the basement,
yeah,
but nobody got on Trump about selling the Trump Bible.
yeah. Well, you know what? I, unfortunately, our people, we quick to, because the person that wrote this story was black too. I'm gonna
That's
tell you.
just so crazy.
But I get it though. It is. I must say that is called journalism.
Yeah,
So you
it's
gotta share the
yeah.
whole. He
Hmm.
had his little issue with
Yeah.
redemption. But with the Kamala in the basement, it was just a um. It just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, that don't seem like you really was in the church.
Yeah, no.
Right, right,
But
Uh,
it's politics,
it is.
right? There's a crowd that she desires to reach, and you should have just got one of them church member writers to write your speech
yeah.
when you was gonna
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
One of
You
them
know, the
mothers of the
administrator,
church.
Tell
the
her
one,
right.
the one that write the resolutions for the
Yeah,
Right,
president.
you can't just be
exactly.
talking about the black church like that. You need some help.
Yeah.
So we done ran out of time. I had the lawyer here. We're gonna talk about Diddy's latest legal request, but I'll say that for tomorrow. A motion early because
Former United States Ambassador, former United States Senator, and I'm currently the chairman of the USADF, the United States Africa Development Foundation. Please don't forget to vote.
Attention motorists.
please don't
Get your
forget to
new
vote.
Teddy Bear yearly budget
Uh,
pass for
Tina
as
said
low
Channel
as
7 said it too
$50 a month.
About
about
the
him being
yeah.
convicted,
Here, no matter where you are, with
Of
the
course they gonna
15
say it.
locations
and
across
said they
Mhm.
hadn't heard
America,
from him
and get
since
your car
he
washed
served his
anytime
time.
you want.
Mm.
All year long, Buddy Bear members will receive exclusive
Well,
perks
I'll
and
say this:
prizes at
anytime you doing
memberships. Go to
good,
Yeah.
they
BuddyBearCarWash.com.
gonna come
That's
after you for
Yeah.
BuddyBearCarWash.com and
something.
get your
Mm.
membership
Especially if you're
today.
making an
Fill
impact
her
within
up
the
with a clean break
community.
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's
Um,
BuddyBearCarWash.com.
to be able to tear down the legacy of it all is
Yeah.
strategy, right?
And
Like you don't have no heroes because all your
Yep.
heroes is this. They did all this, but
mm,
behind closed doors,
yeah,
this
this
is
is
what
what
they
they.
are.
And the only crime he committed was not hiring the right CPA.
That was it.
And trust me,
That was it.
we make those mistakes.
Yes.
Exactly.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know, didn't get the numbers right.
Yeah. Tax evasion. Ooh.
Hmm.
Hey, the government, they don't play.
What is tax evasion? He just didn't pay taxes, or he figured out a way to maneuver not to pay as much taxes.
It could be both, like evading taxes, like
Mm.
trying not to pay it, or putting it in certain areas that you're taking expenses from that's not necessarily expense.
Mm,
Uh,
like Donald Trump.
Basically.
That's why I'm like, he do it all the time. I guess you got to have the right CPA to do it
Yeah.
right, help you
Hmm.
do it right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's illegal in places. Some places it's not illegal. It's like marijuana.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you got a president who won't even release his tax returns. That should say enough.
And I saw a video about him. Play Mika commercial again right before we come in.
Okay.
It's a
a
lifetime
video of
savings
him when
call
he was
earned
out here
and
talking about
cherished.
Obama need to
Secure
show his
home
birth certificate,
automatically
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
understand when
and
leaving
you
a
ain't
tax
showed your
bill.
tax return.
Yeah. You or your
Unlike you,
VP
they stand guard
elect.
over all
Londa said, "Well, I
tax-related
want to
matters
see
and ensure
Trump do some
safety
jail time."
24/7,
Mm.
365 days a year.
And you know what?
You
The
know,
response center
if
is
you do it to one,
FCC
do it to them
providing
all, right?
top-notch
Yeah.
monitoring for burglary, fire, carbon monoxide, and medical emergencies. They will fulfill and even exceed all industry standards. With secure home and
Okay, I see
automation,
the
they have
comments
the
now.
power to
Does your
customize your
phone move
security
with you?
solution.
It
Round the clock
automatically
peace of
kind of
mind
Yeah,
is
senses
there's
you.
unguaranteed.
Yeah, a
Isn't that
It's
sensor.
on
priceless?
lock.
So
yeah,
let
it
Secure
has a
Home and
camera right
Automation
here,
be a
so it's
part of your
moving when I
story
move.
and your
Mm-hmm.
legacy.
It
Keep
can be a little
safeguarding your home
flustering
and
though. I
preserving
gotta
your
learn how to
future.
really
Go
work it
ahead and
because
call
it'll be at the
866
ceiling and they
347
think you hear something.
3344. That's 866 447 3344. Call today and make a
This
wise
phone.
choice to
Mm.
secure your
This
tomorrow.
Bible right
Secure
here.
Home
Struggling
and
with that.
Automation.
Trying to
Tina
Trust
find it.
said he
today.
has the
Now experience
complexion
the
for the
promise of ultimate
connection.
safety that they bring to your
Mm.
home. Call
Clearly, I got
Ashley Johnson
darker.
at
Um,
866
Kelly,
447
you said glad to see y'all,
3344.
and the
Lisa
light on
Chauncey,
my stand
866
came on.
447 3744.
Attention Every entrepreneurs, second. it's your girl, attorney
This
India
India.
Rios, your one-stop shop for
I'm
trademark
like, you
services.
playing the wrong
Whether
one.
you're launching a new business or
Hey,
safeguarding an
Kelly.
established one, I will guide you through every step of the
Kelly is
trademark
on.
process.
Kelly's on
Yeah.
Secure
there.
your brand's
And
future
Kelly
today.
Cal.
Kelly
Call
Kales.
773 455
And I meant to tell y'all,
0711.
share the
That's
live before y'all
773
came on. So
Oh,
455
yeah.
0711. And for a limited
How we
time,
share it?
get $100 off with
So
the
on
promo
your face,
code
you go to our
BRUNCHBUNCH.
page,
And
share it
remember,
on your
call
Facebook
attorney
page, and
India
then they can be
Rios
tuned
to
in too.
secure the brand and the bag.
It's time for Trademark
And then
Talk
we'll
with
still be
attorney
on.
India Rios right here on the
Zoe,
Brunch
what you doing?
Bunch.
It's not.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It is not trademark Talk Thursday. It's Money Monday. And you know what? We got some great guests in the building. I'm wondering. Money Mika, who comes with us every other week to talk about building generational wealth. She advises us on our finances. She's making sure we're properly protected. But she is globe trotting right now.
Yes.
Oh
She
yeah.
she's in Dubai.
She's in Dubai.
She is in Dubai doing her thing. And of course, she said, I didn't want to leave the believers without representation. So I wanted to send two of the top leaders on my team who are doing amazing work. And that's none other than Tyann and Prince Coakley, hailing from the great west side of Chicago. Tyann is a CPA and attorney with a deep commitment to financial education, while Prince, a skilled musician and financial specialist, brings creative energy to helping families achieve financial security. Together, they blend expertise and passion to guide clients toward lasting wealth and peace of mind. Let's give a warm brunch welcome to Prince and
Woo!
Tyann. Welcome officially
Thank
to the
Yes.
you.
Brunch Bunch. And this is your first time on the Brunch Bunch.
This
Yes.
is.
Well, welcome. We're so excited to have you both. Great energy. Uh, Prince, are you from the West Side?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yes.
make sure. I know at least one was gonna be all right, but two is even better, right?
Yes.
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 The West Side love story. But listen, we're so glad to have you, and we're excited about the work that you're doing. And we want to hop right into this interview. Can each of you share a bit about your backgrounds and what led you to a career in finance?
Okay, I think I'll start off. So I have a background. I'm a certified public accountant. I did that for about 13 years in corporate America. Also a law school grad from Loyola University. Really just came to a point in my life where, don't get me wrong, a six-figure salary, it was great, about 140,000. It was great, but when that salary takes you away from the things and the people that you love the most, um, you have to make a change. And I think sometimes we get married to our titles and our degrees, and we don't necessarily take opportunities that gives us what we're really looking for, which is some time freedom, more time with
Yeah,
family, friends, or financial freedom because it didn't come in the package that you prayed for. So you assume you prayed for something, but it's not the box
yep,
that you thought God would give you. And I'm just grateful to have met Mika Saunders and had that conversation. And that's when that transition, happened. And I don't use any of my degrees.
Wow.
But the licenses, the financial licenses that I have, is what creates the income and the impact that we're able to have in our community.
So, Tyann, wow, that's amazing. Um, it's also like, man, we could have saved a few dollars on
A whole lot of dollars.
Yeah.
A whole lot of dollars.
that. So you met Mika first, and told you Prince like, hey, listen, met this young lady, we got an opportunity. Or did Prince
Nah,
meet her, or how did it work? How did this
So
work?
so I met her first, and was super under the busy act. I'm in school, and all this going on. But then when I got serious and actually decided to go get the license, Prince was soon there. So
Okay, Prince, tell us your backstory.
so I am from the west side of Chicago.
Woo woo
We're
woo,
gonna say
best
that
side,
again,
best side,
unapologetic
best
about
side.
that. But prior to doing what I do now, I was running a transportation service where we service Chicago suburban school districts. But we all know what happened on March 13th of 2020. They sent the students home
Hmm.
due to the pandemic, so it put a halt to that business. But even before that, I did work for iHeartRadio. Actually, I did the Whispers in the Dark intro for Chris Michaels for many years. So we used to
Oh,
open up
so
Whispers in
when
the
I
Dark.
joked about the lights
I
earlier,
thought you
that
knew.
I did not
I
know that.
thought
I
you
did not know
knew.
that.
Look at God. Won't He confirm to
Listen, but
me?
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. So that okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it
went by
makes sense
went,
now.
went by Pete Coakley at still do, but also did some scoring for the Discovery Networks as well as Disney. But yeah, when they brought it to me, it was just to came in and support her. But I heard the concepts, and when I heard the concepts, they made sense, and it really exposed why we've been losing as a community for so long. Because what we teach is very simple. It's very basic and simple. The problem is that we're not privy to the information. So I was really passionate about making sure that our communities, those who were close to me first, and also the community that I grew up in, will have an opportunity to learn what we teach.
I love it. I love it. Okay, we're gonna get you to record some when we're done. Uh, but this is interesting stories because you met Mika, who, and how long you guys been working with?
We've been licensed for 5 years.
5 years. Okay, all right. So 5 years ago, this all
Yes.
happened,
Hmm.
and your lives have changed in
Yes.
Tremendously.
five years. Let's talk about that changing, because you said, for the people that don't know, and you said you have a CPA, you have a
Juris
Juris
Doctorate degree.
Doctorate, you're not using neither of your degrees. So something good is happening. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely something amazing is happening. And I'll say for sure, don't get me wrong, income is great. However, our impact is a whole lot different. See, I wasn't able to service my community with that CPA. I'm typically working for corporations and some pretty big
Hmm.
corporations too, right? Ernst& Young, Blue Cross Blue Shield, R.R. Donnelly. But that's not really serving my people, right? People who look like me. I came from poverty,
Hmm.
right? And so that law degree also wasn't going to really help them unless they could afford me,
Yep.
right? But, this is a vehicle in which we can actually educate and empower. And it's small things to really do. Like we think financial education has to be extreme. Most of the time, people don't seek to do it because they're confused about it. But I want to break this thing down to my people like it was broken down to me. It was
Yes.
a third grade curriculum
Hmm.
where we all could understand and put the necessary steps in place so that our children, because what does the Bible say? Right? A wise man leaves an inheritance for
Yeah.
his children's children. And it also says that my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. So it's really being in a position to change that and to educate and empower so that they make the decision.
Yes. And I'll be remiss to not mention Mika Saunders again, because what she did was showed us an example of
Mm,
not only the financial education, but what the financial education can do for us in terms of income for ourselves.
Yes.
Right? She was an example from the west side of Chicago. At the time we met her, she was making about 25,000 a month. Now she's making about 150,000. So,
Yes.
but
Yes.
not just put our business out there, but still, but the financial services is the highest paid industry, and just to put us in a position to be able to say, hey, this is an example from the west side of Chicago, and hey, we could do this together. Not only do this as well, but also work together as a couple because her background is corporate, my background is more so entrepreneurship and music, and now we're able to blend those things together and build something for our families to pass down.
Well, the good thing is, and you keep saying her name, right? You say it as much as you want to, because when you never forget those who held the door open for you,
Hmm.
and now you hold the door open for somebody else,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so that's just always pay homage, and it's not like I'm sure she ain't saying you better say my name. It's
No,
just
Nah,
no, no,
nah,
it's
nah.
so dope
no.
to be able to say that I met somebody who helped change my life, and now you're doing the same thing for people. One of the things that Mika focuses on a lot when she's on is, of course, the investment side, being insured and licensed. And I wanted this interview to focus more on the business side of it
Okay.
because there are so many people out here that A, are scared of opportunities,
Hmm.
B, don't understand opportunities, or C, don't see people like them. So you guys are covering, you're a professional,
Mhm.
graduate,
Hmm.
two major degrees that you're not using, and somebody's out here with 2, 3 degrees and struggling to make ends meet. And you guys have an opportunity to help people get licensed and join the team and start their own
Yeah.
teams and like franchises. Can we talk to that side of this business?
So, I mean, if we talk towards, the life insurance and investments side of the business, with life insurance, especially I think for our community, we have to begin to put some value on our lives and some value on ourselves. And for so long, we were in this $25,000 bucket, $50,000. Well, that's just going to pay the graveyard. And when I say put value on yourself, because everybody got a price tag on you,
Mm-hmm.
the funeral home know exactly how much you're going to cost, right? The mortician know, the chicken shack, the t-shirt man, they know exactly what these things
Hmm.
are going to cost. But we will literally get enough to pay everybody else, all of the strangers, but we leave behind our children and our family and our loved ones, the people we say we love the most,
Mm-hmm.
and we leave them with nothing. It's one thing to be grieving, it's totally different to be grieving and backing at the same
Mm.
time. So we have to begin to put a price tag on our life. What is your financial worth? And the only reason that we don't do that is either because we don't prioritize us or we lack the financial education to do that. And so our goal is to eradicate both of those things where
Mm.
you begin to prioritize the value of yourself and the value of your family.
And then also about the business opportunity, financial services is the highest paid industry in America, right? And without mentioning our company's name, our company has produced more 6 and 7 figure earners than any other company in the history of North American business.
Mm.
So what that means is that we have a better opportunity for us, what the numbers say, to become a 6 and 7 figure earners than any other place in North America. With that being said, um, the financial concepts and the business opportunity coincide because what happens is that when I learned the rule of 72, it exposed to me that I wasn't on track and I was going to have to work until I die,
Mm-hmm.
right? And with that being said, had I started this thing earlier, right, I would be wealthy by now, right? So what happens is that as we get older, we got
Wealthier.
wealthier,
Yes.
right? That's it, wealthier, right? When I started, right? But with that being said, is that now as we get older, we got some catching up to do,
Yes.
right? And the thing about it is that let me go prevent the younger generation from making the mistakes that I didn't know about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, with financial services too, Marcel, 92% of it's the highest paid industry, but 92% of the industry is white males. So it's not a lot of people coming to our communities recruiting us into this industry,
So
right?
92% of them are Donald Trump.
Yeah.
No. Maybe not just so much Donald Trump. Some nice ones.
I mean, it's some good people. But lastly about that is that my point is that as we catching up, Marcel, and we showing other people how to prevent the mistakes that we went through, at an entry level, we pretty much can go help one client and pay our car note.
Mm.
So when we talk about collapsing those time frames, right, and we talking entry level, the conversation gets way better than that. But like I remember the first time I
So
used,
my first week, I can I could I
yeah,
could possibly get one new client customer and pay my
yeah.
car note.
Man, I did it with my first client, and I serviced that client within less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just gonna chime in when it comes to the business opportunity and realizing you're behind, because what my degree did was taught me how to work in a career, but spent very little time learning about my money. Right? You spend a lot of time learning how to do a particular function, but you don't spend the time learning about the income that ultimately you're doing that
Yeah.
function for. And so when you realize you're behind, you have to then think about, like, well, if I'm on a fixed income, which is a salary,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to catch up, but I'm on a fixed income. How do you move something that's fixed?
Right.
So then, how do I catch up? So the way that I catch up is either save money or more money. What people think is that they have a budget problem. No, most people, a lot of them don't have a budget problem. They have an income problem. They
Mm.
need more income. And when you increase your income, you can begin to play this catch up game. But unfortunately for most people, they will not be able to do it with a fixed income, a salary, or an hourly pay. So you need an opportunity at that point.
I love it. Now I'm playing, entrepreneurship. You
Hmm.
mean you play every role in that company? I'm filming, interviewing, and
Yeah.
live at the same
Yeah,
time. I thought about it.
you
My
doing your
people not
thing.
even here to
You
get
doing
it
your
going,
thing.
but this is some good information, and I want to make sure it's documented,
Yes.
right? And so, for somebody like myself that's a professional, making money, could use a few extra dollars,
Hmm.
and I'm listening to you now, and I'm saying, you know what? I may be interested, but I need somebody who can teach me how to do this, coach me. I've never sold. Are you two the people for that job?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Somebody, obviously Coach Mika did it for us. And, they say one good mentor can put you in rooms and places that a degree never could.
Yeah.
And so you better get that one good mentor or two or three.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yes, we do
or in this
coach.
case, two, a power couple.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody wanted to reach you, what's the number that they can reach you at, or to connect to say, hey, I want to learn more about this opportunity. I want to work with Prince and Tyann, because you're going to coach them. You're going to personally
Yeah.
work with them.
Yeah.
You're going to give them the tools that they need, because they don't need a degree for this
No,
business.
no. It's a clean criminal background.
A clean one.
A clean one. How can they reach you? What's a good number to reach you?
So my phone number is 630 532 0086.
Now, one more time for the people in the back.
630 532 0086.
So, Prince, while they're dialing Tyann,
Hmm.
I want you to just talk a little bit more. So, I, what does the opportunity entail? Do you they have to come to the office every day? Do you got to clock in? Are you being watched and managed? Do I got to wait every 3 months to get paid? Let's talk a little bit about that.
All right, hey, you asking the right questions.
Today.
Honestly, yes. I mean, you go into business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So at that point, what we do is that we work around new people's schedule, right? We work around our new people's schedule, and typically, most of our business is done virtually. So what
Okay.
was the last question? Because I kind of
I
threw me
I
off.
know the calls are coming through, right?
I know. I wasn't
Listen, I
expecting
know,
it
I
to
know.
be like.
Well, you know what? When you got good
Yeah,
stuff, people want to call, right?
yeah.
So, believers, if you didn't know, now you know that is her personal cell phone number, and she's gonna call you
Yeah,
right back
yeah.
after the show so that she can connect with you. But so I asked, what do you talk? Do they got to come in the office? Is it a certain amount of hours? How when are they paid when
Oh
they
yeah,
get
and
going?
that was a great question because what I love about it is that typically in traditional pay, right? We work 13 days to get paid once, right? Every
Yep.
third, But with us, we get paid every day except Sundays and holidays, so we get an opportunity to get paid every day.
Wait,
Except
how did I miss that memo? I thought it was once a week.
No.
Every day.
except Sundays and holidays, 6 days a week. And so
Why
we
you
don't
waiting?
have to wait. So we have the opportunity and the power to go generate income anytime we want.
Why you waiting 7 days to get paid for what you did 7 days ago?
Well, that makes sense. But you got to be a powerful company to be able to do that. So, believers, this is if you're interested in learning more about getting into this financial service industry, working with Prince and Tyann Coakley, all you have to do is call them directly at 630 532 0086. That's 630 532-0086. Give them a call or shoot them a text that says Brunch Bunch so they
Mm-hmm.
know you heard them on the Brunch Bunch. And I can just say I am, listen, a firm believer that I know the company is doing some amazing work. I'm insured by this company, investments through this company, and I help my community
I love
get insured through this company. And so I know Mika is an amazing woman, and everybody on her team are amazing people because she's coaching and teaching them to do the same thing that she's doing to hit
it.
that.
Yes.
We put our business out there at 120,000 a year. I mean a month. Look, let's just say this: she's making what some people make in a year and a month.
On a
Let's
good
say
job. On a
that
good job.
on a good job.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Prince, Tyann, this. We run out of time and we're having good time, but you all were great. This was some great information. Thank you for joining us on the Brunch Bunch. I'm gonna let Mika know that you represented very well. You represented very well. But listen, believers, one last time, if you're interested in learning more information about how to even listen, we can't say that you're gonna make six figures in a month. We can say that they can teach you and show you how to get sales done, how to get people covered financially, and how you could possibly get one client to just help you pay your car note. Listen, for me, if I
Yeah.
could just pay the car note,
I'm a,
I'm straight right now. I'm straight. But listen, believe me, we straight because we're out of time, but we're never out of content. In the spirit of Glorilla, at the end of the day got to end. We got to go. We
yes.
encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire. Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson. We out.
That was good.
You are really good.
Yeah.
Cardine Jenkins.
Oh yeah, that's my
Right,
auntie.
guys. God bless. Yay, why am I smiling? My heart is glad for my niece and nephew. I love them. Opportunity night is tonight at 7 p.m. Link up with them today. Yes. So you got a few calls.
Yes, clearly. I was like, woo.
All right. Kenneth Nelson said, great job, coaches. That was Mimo Nelson that gave the announcement for
Yeah.
that. Kenneth Nelson. Oh, yep. He said, great job. All right, Tina. Um, love y'all. See y'all tomorrow for Tell Me Something Good Tuesday with Winona Redmond. We out.
Well, this was a